Alrighty, my people, it's time for the hot topics.
So we just heard yesterday that the Prime Minister has suggested that the curfew will stay as it is, I can't remember, until October 7, I think he said, or 3, I can't remember. October 7. Having said that, the Chief Executive Officer of SEPRAD, Mr. Richard Pandohi, he is suggesting that the island-wide curfew should go until 10 p.m. because small and micro businesses were suffering disproportionately from the restrictions imposed to curb the spread. He says stakeholders in various industries have grown weary of nearly 6 months of curfews, which have killed many businesses whose lifeblood depends on movement and patronage after dark. But calls for relaxation in restrictions coincide with a rapid rise in coronavirus infections, approaching 5,300 and deaths now at 75. I was also reading, I think it's in Port Antonio, that they said they had a number of break-ins. And a businessman there was saying it was because of the curfew, because he says what happens, 7 o'clock everybody go home, and he says the police are off. So it's easier for them to break in. He says they are taking out grills and stuff because now they have the time to do it because nobody is around. So he was suggesting, I don't know the best way to do this. He says, Mr. Pandohi says, I'm not a big supporter of the curfew hours. We think that 8 o'clock curfew is affecting micro, as I said earlier. Because businesses have to close at 5:30, 6 o'clock now because of the 8 o'clock curfew. So I'm not so certain how you go through this because the numbers have jumped and you have to do something about it. So I'm not so certain, but I understand the feeling.
You know what my challenge is, Neville and my people, is when you think about health, we're looking at our physical health and trying to avoid COVID-19, but there's an economic health. There's a social health. There are many elements of this health that we can't, if we ignore the others, then it could be worse for some. You understand? And the majority. So we have to really try and strike that order, strike that balance. But it's right. A lot of small businesses have had to close.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not so certain how to deal with this one because you are right. But physical health is also hugely important.
Okay. But it is no more important than your emotional health, your economic health. Because if you are lying there and you can't feed your children, that is just as painful as possibly contracting the virus and making it through. You have to, let's be honest, many people, I know people who have it and they're at home and you watch them all over the Instagram, they're still working, still living and have no symptoms about. What I'm saying is we cannot ignore the economic health, the social health, as well as the physical health. So we have to find a way. But guess what? The people who are going there and looting, taking out people's things and breaking into a man's business who has earned his bread and butter honestly. You are wicked. You are a wicked person. We need to stop it. And we cannot blame anybody but the people who commit these horrific crimes against people.
I agree with that.
Stop it.
All right, next one. What's the next one? JTA welcomes resumption plan for schools. So they start October 5, but the word is no face-to-face learning right now. For most people, because apparently there are some who just have to go to school because they have internet access and stuff like that. So, and I think the teachers and everyone involved say hooray for that.
Yeah, it's the second time that the government is forced to abandon attempts to reopen schools in the face of this COVID-19 pandemic. What are we going to do? I don't know. But a UNICEF Caribbean Policy Research Institute Capri study found actually that 89% of students have some level of internet connectivity. So are they going to be able to survive? What about these small rural areas where internet is not so great?
Which is why I said some people will still have to go to school because some of them just don't have access. Some areas the internet access will be weak even if they have it. So a teacher was telling me the other day that she teaching like crazy and then power cut.
Oh yeah.
So she's teaching on power cut, so she just couldn't get back on.
Yeah.
So I don't know, because maybe the power cut would be in her area,
Right.
not necessarily.
And you know what the students are saying when it happens? Yes!
Yeah.
Yes! No class today.
Power cut. So this is going to be so interesting, so difficult. But we can do it, folks. We can do it. If everyone puts everything together, we can do it. And having said that, I mean, you segue into the fact that laptops are scarce.
What? Can you imagine? Boy, a new challenge has emerged, people. What's going on?
So you're looking at, I'm not certain.
It's just
I'm not
saying-
certain what the student population overall in Jamaica is.
250 something thousand?
I'm not certain, but you would need laptops for most people.
Let me see.
So I don't know if
What is the school population?
I'm not certain. And I'm
don't
talking
think I
about
have that.
overall population, because it's not just high school who need laptops. you
Well,
know?
guess what? The ministry is targeting 240,000 students in grades 4 to 6 and 10 to 13 for distribution of devices. So there are a lot more children in the system, but 240 would be grades 4 to 6 and grades 10 to 13.
Yeah, interesting times. But we can do it, folks. Everyone hold hands. We can do this. We can do this. What's the next one?
Well, you tell me. I'm listening to you today.
Well, there's the video of this young man. They say investigators are
A small child, like about 4.
on the heels of an adult behind a video circulating on social media, which features a child not older than 5 years old who is being encouraged to drink and smoke as part of an apparent birthday celebration.
Poor kid.
Yeah.
So it was on Twitter, and a lot of people were sharing it and tagging. I was tagged, the CPFSA, everybody that pretty much works in children and youth services. I mean, everybody was watching that video. It went viral. And it was very disturbing to see the adults, egging him on to do this. But I do know that the Child Protection and Family Services Agency put out a call, and the OCA, the Office of the Children's Advocate, to find and track the adults behind the video of this young boy smoking. I really hope it's going to be a wake-up call for all of us about, not what you post on social media, but the act itself. The act itself, we need to have some conversations about what is right and what is wrong when we're dealing with children. Oh, another type of education needed there, Mr. Bell. I am happy to also say that some of our network will also be airing some classes online, free, for children who may not have access to internet. So they'll be accessing the education and curriculum via this platform, TVJ, so we're happy about that. Oh boy, that's what's going on in Jamaica right now.
All right, still to come, are you washing your hands the right way? No? Well, I'll show you how. But before all of that, we're going to have the first edition of News in 5. That comes up after the break. Stay with us, please. Soon come.